Hey there, it's Discodoggy again. I am going to document the first 10 wins of my team, Garnet and 2 Peridots. If I think a team is going to be good and has a lot of potential, I'm just going to not play it at all. I'm just going to start it right off and record all the videos, see how long it takes to get to 10 wins, and this was one of those teams. As far as the name goes, well, it's based on a Korean MMORPG that I still play called Rose Online. I play in the classic server. I won't talk about that game right now, but except for the fact that gems in that game are so powerful. Like you want to get your grade 7 gems. Garnets are for dodge and Peridots are for attack speed, and this team is kind of dodgy and attack speedish. So that's where it got the name. The team is made up of the Scalded Basilisk Hatchling, the Moon-Touched Netherwhelp, and Spinebug. The rationale behind it was simple. The Scalded Basilisk Hatchling, or the Basilisk as I just will call it from here on out, needs to be fast. It's really good when it's fast. It can use Crystal Prison, and it has a beast racial to do a lot of damage. That Thrash hits 140 a pop, 175 with the beast racial. It has been one of my go-to pets for the longest time, since MOP for sure. I don't remember how early I started playing it in MOP, but I wasn't one of the first ones, that's for sure. But eventually I caught on to it, and I'm like, oh my god, this is amazing. But it's only 305 speed. With today's speedy meta, I would say that 305 isn't that fast anymore. Same with the Moon-Touched Netherwhelp. It is only 289 speed. In my last video, I talked a lot about Indigo. Indigo is so good because it's fast, 341 speed, and it has a dodge, and it has an interrupt. Well, the Moon-Touched Netherwhelp is just as good as that. It's got a dodge, and then it's got that Ashes of Outland that puts a blind on the opponent, but it's only 289 speed. That's not fast anymore. Back in MOP, I used to, that to me was kind of like the lower end of fast. If you were 289, you were like, oh, okay, you're fast. I'll classify you as fast. But now, whoa, no, not anymore. 289's nothing in this speedy arms race. So they both need to be faster. What do you do about it? You throw a dazzling dance up, and then they're really fast. Okay, so that's why the Spinebug is there. There are other dazzling dance pets that people use effectively. This one is mostly for the Karaji Guardling, and the Idol and all the Sandstorm teams that are out there. Idols are tough to deal with, even when they're not on a full Sandstorm team. So I am using it as my dazzler of choice, the Spinebug, and it's really fast. It's 337 speed. But let's talk about the speeds and breeds now. As far as breeds go, there is really only one breed that you will ever want to pick for the Scalded Basilisk Hatchling, and that is HS. It needs to be fast. You want to pick the faster one. The other two breeds, well, there's no choice. The Moon-Touched Netherwhelp only comes in PS, and the Spinebug only comes in SS. Again, their speeds are 305, 289, and 337, so not super fast. But the Spinebug is pretty fast, but that's what the Dazzling Dance is for. So always with the Basilisk, you want to take Crystal Prison, Feign, Death, and Thrash. That's what it does. That's how I use it. Maybe somebody else uses it differently. That's how I use it all the time. When I was making this slide and I was like, okay, Needleclaw, Phase Shift, and Ashes of Outland is what I always take. I was like, well, why don't I take Nether Blast? I could use some magic damage strong against flyers. I mean, it would provide some nice coverage. The Scalded Basilisk Catchling is going to be weak against flyers, and I was trying to think, why do I always take Needle Claw? I guess you can take Nether Blast. I think the reason why I settled on Needle Claw was because there's a lot of swapping usually with the Moon Touched Netherwhelp. It's nice if you can get a DOT up when you're swapping out. That doesn't sound like a great reason, but I've always taken Needle Claw. When I've taken Nether Blast, I've been disappointed. And again, it seems perfect because, well, what is Nether Blast weak against? It's weak against mechanicals, and you have Ashes of Outland, which is strong against mechanicals. So I might have to reevaluate that, but I just remember whenever I took Nether Blast, because it's a ramp up move. It always just felt like it wasn't doing enough, and I think there's times when the DOT can actually proc the Dragonkin racial, and you don't even have to attack with it. I'm gonna stick with Needle Claw now, even though I'm not making a very convincing argument as to why. Of course, Phase Shift. You want to take that, and Ashes of Outland, which is it does a lot of damage and blinds the other pet for that move if you go first, and then the next move as well. So it's kind of a mean pet, kind of in the same sense that Indigo is mean, and you can just be like, hey, I'm dodging now, you can't hit me. Oh, I'm still dodging, you can't hit me. Oh, guess what? Now I kicked you and you can't attack. Hey, that's 3 turns in a row when you couldn't do any damage with me. You can get the same kind of thing from the Moontouch Netherwhelp, but you can actually get 4 turns in a row if they don't have anything that's gonna, go through the blind. You can put up Ashes of Outland, they're blinded, then you put Phase Shift, you're dodging, that's 4 turns in a row, they can't hit you. Again, kind of a mean pet, really good for PvP. PvP is just mean. Spinebug. Dazzling Dance. Return to Rest is another Feign Death type move. Interesting thing I'll talk about with Feign Death and Return to Rest, they bring in different pets. One brings in the lowest health and one brings in the highest health, which leads to a very interesting combo that I'll talk about. But Bone Bite, I'm going to take that again for the idols and the guardlings out there. Really no difference between Tail Slap. Actually, that's not true. I think Bone Bite is a, set damage, while Tail Slap is a low high. But I will confirm that. But yeah, Dazzling Dance, Bone Bite, Return to Rest. That's what I'm going to take with the SS Breed. There's an interesting combo that you can do with these 3 pets. A lot of the times I start with the Basilisk, especially against Anomalous. Not all the time, sometimes I'll start with the Spinebug. But let's say I start with the Basilisk and I realize, okay, that was a bad choice. I got myself into trouble there. It's either not fast enough or it's a bad matchup. Maybe it's a flyer or something. Well, you can Feign Death and swap yourself out. Feign Death swaps with the highest health pet, which on this team, on that back line with the Netherwhelp and the Spinebug, is going to be the Spinebug. So then you do your Dazzling Dance with the Spinebug, and if you want the Netherwhelp to come right in, which, I mean, the Netherwhelp and the Basilisk are the ones who do the most damage on this team. So, but anyway, you want the Netherwhelp to come back in. You then Return to Rest, because that swaps with the lowest health pet. So it's kind of an interesting way to make up for choosing the wrong pet at the beginning if you choose the Basilisk and it's really not what you wanted. Now you have to be careful, because if the Basilisk takes any damage, it might be the lowest health pet, and it might come right back in. I mean, now it's going to have the Dazzling Dance up, so maybe it's better than it was before. But yeah, it's just kind of a interesting combo when you have 2 feigns, as I call them, even though one's Feign Death and one's Return to Rest. Okay, so now's the part where I would normally start talking over the videos that I made of this team, but guess what? The very first video, I fought Anamago. I won, and then I had that sinking feeling again when I go up to hit stop record, and I wasn't recording. By that time, I was committed to doing the first 10 wins of this team. I knew it was going to be good, but I was really sad that I did not record that win. And I actually don't remember how it went. I just remember I was super stoked that I won. I'm like, wow, this team's good. It's got a lot of potential. So let's go into the next video now. I did record the rest of them, but just somehow that first one, I missed it. So my apologies on that. I call this team Stunlight because it often runs, excuse me, Sunlight, and that dragon has the move that stuns in the sunlight, but this actually is a darkness team. So I'm calling it Stunlight because I already made the slides, okay? All right. So I almost returned to rest there, but then I know this team is going to Dazzling Dance itself. So I didn't, I decided to get an attack off, and then I thought, well, maybe since it's slower, it won't attack. I was wrong. Ouch. Big damage. Critter versus undead. So now I got out. Their Dazzling Dance is ahead of mine at this point, meaning that it's going to last longer, and then they refresh it here. I thought they would be expecting me to blind them or put my phase shift up, so I thought I had a free attack, and it turns out I did. So now the Moontouch Netherwhelp is not going to be faster than Twilight. So because they're both buffed, and Twilight is 292 base, and the Netherwhelp is 289. So I decided to just take all that with my Spine Bug, let him die, get another Dazzling Dance off. And now here, this is a good. Actually, both the matchups are good with versus the Basilisk, because the Basilisk is faster. Get a triple hit there, and then I'm not taking any of that hard damage. My Netherwhelp is faster than you. I think I did. This was a chance that I took here that I probably shouldn't have. I probably should have dodged first, and then done the Ashes of Outland, because I could have missed under that darkness, but turns out it was fine. Now there's still darkness to contend with here, and I am going to be faster than Twilight right now for a few turns, but I decided to keep the Netherwhelp in, because even though it's faster for a few turns, I would have been slower later, and with all his Dragonkin damage, all the humanoid damage, which is strong against Dragonkins, I would have been screwed coming back in. So I decided just to let the Basilisk handle business, and then I did it right that time. I didn't take a chance with using the Crystal Prison in the darkness. And yeah, there you go. So this team has beaten me before. Well, is it this team? I know somebody uses. Actually, there's two cricket teams I face. I don't think this is the one that beats me all the time. There is a cricket team, a cricket Sunlight team that beats me. I guess that's why I called it Stunlight. So there's no Stunlight going on. There's no Sunlight and there's no Stun. It was a Darkness team. I'm not making the slides again. That team is officially known as Stunlight. Okay, let's get on to the next battle. This is against an Idol and Rook and a Fragment of Anger. I just call the team Rook because who plays with Rook? That's pretty cool. You'd like to see underrepresented pets in the queue. Started with the Basilisk, and I gotta say, until we get to the idol, it's a pretty straightforward and boring battle. I mean, I didn't really know what Rook had here. I didn't know what he had going on. I was hoping he didn't have that iron skin, and so I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to play it safe, and I'm going to feign because I don't know what's going on. And turns out he had Mighty Charge. Now I have a undead with undead damage versus a humanoid, and we're just going to smack each other in the face. I don't need my Dazzling Dance because all my pets are faster than all their pets. I didn't mention it when I was talking about the team creation, but one thing that's not great about this team is it's got such low HP. So if you can't, use your shenanigans with the prison and the dodge and the Ashes of Outland, the blind and the feign. God, there's a lot of shenanigans going on. If you can't use those to shut down the cleave, then your backline pets don't have much damage. So it's a little bit tricky. It can be a little bit tricky. So here's a Fragment of Anger. People used to run it a lot. It was good. I think I had it on one of my dropping birds teams, which were designed to kill flyers. But it's not much of a match for these two tricky pets. But then the idol. There's actually not this team, but there's a pretty good team that uses the idol as a sweeper. You're like, well, I don't need a fast pet as a sweeper. I just need to keep my idol in there and sandstorm, and you can't kill me. I don't know. I've come across that a few times, and sometimes it's hard because when there's two good pets in front of the idol and they leave their idol until last. Now here's a choice. I didn't really know what to do, and I'm like, well, this pet, if it had that stun, I might have used Ashes of Outland, but I knew it didn't have the stun, so I'm like, okay, I'll take a little bit more damage. But now I'm worried because the Moontouch Netherwhelp can die to one of the strong attacks, one of the crushes. So I go ahead and try to use it there. I lose out on the head game. In the last battle, I lost out all the head games to the idol, but that wasn't much of a head game for me. That was just more of a safety, because I'm like, if I lose, I'm gonna get hit and I'm gonna be gone, and I don't want to be gone against the idol. So at this point, it kind of doesn't look good, but they seem to be using their deflection on CD, so kind of predictable. I missed there. Again, not feeling super great. Look up and they're still 1,675. But because they already used, there's a crit, damn. Because they already used their deflection, now they're vulnerable to the crystal prison. And I do this with the basilisk all the time. It's like you wait till they can't do anything about the prison, and then now they're going to sandstorm. So I'm going to feign. In comes the dragon. And this time I'm not going to burn my Ashes of Outland, but I still have to play it safe, because if I get hit with one crush, I could be gone. Now I'm safe. I miss. Curse words were used. Gotta hope I don't miss again. I didn't. Am I gonna miss again? No, I didn't miss again. But only 156 damage. Now is where that Nether Blast might do me a little better, but I played that well. Now there's no sandstorm up, and that was pretty much the game right there. When they used their deflection, and I used that to swap in. That was the battle. So it wasn't too interesting until we got to the idol. Rook. I named that team Rook because that's kind of cool. They brought a Rook into the queue. I've not used Rook much. Let's get on to the next battle. This battle was against Kovac, and I gotta tell you, it caught me a little bit off guard because I didn't realize it was 305 speed. I thought it was slower. It's been so long since I faced one, so I'm immediately in trouble with my Netherwhelp, and I decided to just keep it in. Probably the best thing to do would have been to just swap out and go with the spine bug and use my dazzling dance, because like, oh, I'm slower than this pet, why don't I make myself faster? But for some reason I just decided to stay in and make things more difficult. And then I got this, well, that's what I guess that's what I was thinking right there. And then I got this black claw put on me and I got all scared, and then yeah, so that would have kind of sucked to get that black claw and the poison on me. So I just stayed in with the moon touch Netherwhelp. I'm like, you know what, this is fine. And now, because of the black claw, that guy's taking a lot of damage on the back line. So I gotta say, Kovac really screwed me up here because because I underestimated the speed. I not underestimated. Well, yeah, I didn't remember that it was that fast. But at this point now that that threat is gone, I'm faster. And if this team is faster, if the Netherwhelp and the Basilisk are faster than you, you're in a lot of trouble. Dragon Racial procced. So see, that does 403 damage and then leaves up the DOT, which does also Dragonkin damage, meaning that the damage is buffed when you proc the Dragonkin Racial. So it turned out being alright. Now here's something nice that you can do against Undead. I know the Icky is going to be faster, but I can put the dodge up now, and then I'm still going to be dodged next turn. Icky is not going to be able to do anything. And now it's just a matter of finishing her off. I mean, I might have been worried that I'd facing a full health flyer, but I just don't think so. But with that undead spine bug, I'm gonna get a couple of hits off there, and so pretty sure I'd be able to knock out its racial. So again, kind of not an interesting battle, but kind of interesting too because Kovac, you know. But and that's that. So note to self: HS Kovac is 305 speed, which is faster than your Netherwhelp. Just to give you a fair warning about this one, I messed around with the camera angle a little bit, just because why do we always have to watch pet battles like this? Well, because they're easier to watch and we're used to them. It's a little bit harder to follow, but I don't know. I guess I was just getting bored at this time, and I wanted to try something different. When I used to have the website, I used to take screenshots all the time and mess around with different angles, and you can get like good close-ups of the pets. And I think I just left it here though, and I do it in the next battle too. And I think after that I don't, because I was like, oh, what if everybody like hates it, and then I do it for the rest of these battles. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments, if you like seeing it like this in a different angle, or if you're just like, dude, I need to see the you on the left and the opponent on the right. That is the only proper way to do pet battles, which I can understand that. It is certainly easy to follow, and you don't see the back line, like this guy's gonna not die but go to 0 HP on the back line later, and you just see like some light happening or something like that, some flashing lights. But anyway, I haven't talked about the battle at all because, well, I'm doing pretty well here against this triple mech team. You know, I don't really like MPDs, I don't like decoys, but it turned out to not really be a problem. I'm not sure. When I was watching this just now, I was like, why did I dodge right there and not attack? But I don't know. They're gonna bring the Iron Starlet in, and they're gonna use Wind Up. And then I think the move is called Overcharge. I still don't know from yesterday. I know it's called Wind Up now. I made that mistake in the last video. And yeah, I took a little bit of a chance there. I thought they would overcharge it rather than unload it on me. And so at this point, it's just, I mean, look at my health and look at their health, and got to be a little bit frustrating for what's most likely a new player. You know, trying to get their brawler achievement, but you know, what are you gonna do? Just show them how it's done, I guess. Show them what's up with PvP pet battles. It's not PvE, but I don't say that in a mean way or anything like that. At least they're trying, you know. Like I get really annoyed with people that come in and they're like, "Oh, win trade. I'll leave first, then you leave." And I think I mentioned that in the last video. It's like, why? What's the point? So you have 10 more achievement points. Maybe another pet. I don't know. Yeah, I guess I don't know. I don't even know. But no need to rant right now. I mean, this is a massacre. Did I only use the Moon Touch Netherwhelp? No, I started off with Spine Bug. So yeah, not too interesting a battle. Again, let me know what you think about the different camera angle. I mean, after you get used to it, it's not bad. In the beginning, it's a little bit disconcerting for me while I'm doing it, because I'm trying to, do the battle and play around with the camera angle. It's not that hard. I can walk and chew gum, okay? But yeah, there you go. Very, very straightforward battle. Shows you how good this team is against, your average team. And again, I think the next battle has a weird camera angle going on, but then after that, I relax it just in case nobody likes it. So let's get on with the next battle. All right, this is a battle against Anomalous and an Idol. I think it's a Chimeraling. I think it was Grania that actually told me, like, you're pronouncing it wrong. Like, I think I used to say Chimeraling or something like that. A Chimeraling. I hope I'm pronouncing it right now, because then I learned and forgot. Okay, so another game with a weird camera angle. Basilisk against Anomalous, no brainer. Hopefully Anomalous will only get one shot off. I can't remember the probabilities. Let me think of it right now, because I think I get 3, then 2. So I think in order to keep Anomalous at 1 shot, you have to get 3, then 3. I don't know. Let's see. So I get 1, 2. So I get my first 3. That's good. And then 1, 2, 3. No, then 1, 2. And so I go 3, 2, 2. So you have to get 2 triple hits in order to take Anomalous out. And there's more math to it, because I remember the Basilisk was actually hard to figure out, because when I did the probability of taking Anomalous out and only letting it get 1 move off, you have to take into account crits and stuff, and it ended up being like nasty denominators, or not nasty, but just big denominators. Anyways, apparently 3, 2, 2 does, without any crits, it does not work, because Anomalous got the second attack off there. So now it's the Idol. And if you look at my health's not doing too great. So I'm gonna just take my Basilisk out, not take that big hit, and then the Spine Bug. I'll try to get clever with it. I'm just gonna, I'm gonna Bone Bite you, and I'm just gonna chip away at your health. But Sandstorm happened. All right, there's 1 miss. I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to keep it in, and what else am I going to do with it? Yeah, you missed too, so the new Beetle missed too. I miss again. That's my second miss. Now, that actually worked out really well. There's no sandstorm up, and the basilisk has beast racial. Oh, that's what I was thinking when I just watched this video, but that's not how I do it. I guess I was thinking that I don't want my dragon against that dragon with darkness. I think that's what I must have been thinking, because I just watched this video and I'm like, okay, bring in the basilisk and take out or mess with the idol. And I didn't do it. And even after just watching it, I'm like, okay, I'm going to bring in the basilisk. I'm so used to bringing in the basilisk against the defenseless idol. But turns out the nether whelp was just fine. See, when it's up close like this, you can see the little screech it does, or it did there before it attacked. Does it do that every time? Well, we're not going to see now. But this players sure like to take their time. I don't know if they were... Oh, well, they didn't take their time here. But I think I just took the weak damage. Yeah, just take the weak damage. It's not that big a deal. And then when you come back down to the ground, I will have that Ashes of Outland ready. Yeah, 289. Could be worse. Gotta hope it doesn't miss in the darkness. A little bit scary. Does not miss. Dragonkin racial is proc. It's kind of backwards now. It's a little bit hard to get used to. I'm like, oh no, they're Dragonkin procced, but no, that's mine. So again, taking their time. I think that's sometimes the mark of a new player. They think, if I pass, am I going to get like extra dodges or extra turns where I don't get to attack? I don't know. Just here I miss, but the DOT's up, so it's interesting. It didn't open its mouth with that little screech anymore, I don't think. So there's that. More difficult battle. Basilisk did fine against Anomalous. After it was gone, I didn't even need to use my speed buff there. So it didn't look like it was that difficult, but beating Anomalous in an idol is no small feat. So I'm pretty happy with that. I was thinking this was going to be an interesting battle. I don't battle Arphis too much. There's a Blighthawk back there. There's Brute. My pets are really good, but I don't know. I was looking forward to this battle a lot, and then I hit him with Ashes of Outland, which denies the haunt. And then they used their speed buff move. I don't remember. Zoomies, is that what it's called? Which is a pretty good move. Apparently it hits through the blind, and then that's all. So what are you going to do? Win number 7. I'll take it. No, I don't know what happened with the camera there and why I started recording late, but I did. So it was Basilisk against the Guardling, and it was a bad matchup. So I used Feign Death. In comes the Spine Bug. And now I was thinking about Return to Rest there, but then if that happens, my dragon's going to come in against Twilight and it's going to be slow. So I decided to, use that combo that I was talking about in the beginning. I do the Dazzling Dance, Return to Rest, and then in comes the dragon. And now the dragon, the Netherwhelp, is faster than Twilight. Living on the edge a little bit here. I probably should have dodged right there because, if it missed, then I'm in a lot of trouble. But here is where I think my opponent was either frustrated or didn't know what they were doing. They were blinded, and then they fired off their last attack into 100% blind. So maybe they know something I don't. Maybe it could have hit, but I use my dodge here. You know, if there's one pet I should take a sandstorm to the face with, it is the netherwhelp because of the weak damage. And I'm like, hey, I already fired something important into a 90% hit, 10% miss. I'll do it again. And I missed. So, but then they missed as well. At this point, I'm thinking, okay, better be a little bit careful here. Let me go ahead and you get my speed buff up at least after I do some attacks. So then when the netherwhelp comes in, it'll be faster than anomalous. I think that's what I was going to do, right? Oh, no, I wasn't going to do it right there. They miss again. Hey, it's your sandstorm. I don't feel so bad when people miss when it's their own sandstorm or their own darkness, or when it happens to me and I'm like, well, what do you expect? You're the one that put the darkness down, so if you miss, then that's your fault. Okay, let's move on to the next battle. All right, 9th battle in a row. Or actually eighth battle because I didn't record the first one. Getting a little tired. I thought I was gonna, I told myself I'm gonna do one battle and then do something else and then do another one. And I've just been sitting here the whole time. Oh, apparently I mess with the map a little bit, but started with Basilisk against Anomalous. Anomalous beat it. They're like, yeah, I don't want to deal with that. Probably a good idea. I think I was thinking that this is the one that I'm so tired, or whatever he says, little XT, but it's actually the Pocket Reaver. I don't know that it had too much of an impact on what I did. This battle was actually ended up being a little bit tricky, as you'll see. I like this map, actually. It's kind of a cool map to battle on. I'm glad I got those statues in the background, and then the light coming up from the bottom is nice too. So, yeah, I don't know if you like it or not, but I do. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of damage done to me here. So it seems like I should finish him off, right? But I'm thinking about Anomalous again. And so I actually thought this through pretty well. I went ahead and dodged here. And then the DOT ticked. Remember I was saying DOTs can be pretty good on the netherwhelp. And then, I want the Basilisk back in. I'm going to take a strong hit to the face. 487, not horrible. It did proc my racial, so my racial is now up. I'm gonna hit Anomalous with that, of course, and then Anomalous stays in this time because the other pet has heals, and not only is it 175 a pop, but then I get that crit. I get all three and I get the crit. So I got 3 and 3 along with the crit. Yeah, Anomalous didn't get any attacks off, so that was a good thing. Now I got this guy, and for some reason I get a little bit confused here. I know he's gonna cleave me. And then with this guy, I'm like, what do I do? And then I think I almost do. Did I just take him back out? So I go from the Basilisk to the Spine Bug to the netherwhelp, which is fine, except I took damage from the cleave. And I know this guy's gonna heal because that's what the rattle jaws tend to do. So and now he's at full health. Worried about that cleave, but I look at the back line. Look at my pets back there. They're all right. So I say, okay, I'll just do that. I'll just dodge. hit you again with this. And then I don't remember what I did after this. What would I do if I was playing this now? I'd probably bring in the Basilisk. Just because then I can... Oh, I didn't do that. Okay. Ah, I didn't die. Maybe I thought I was going to die and then the Basilisk was going to come in. That actually wasn't a bad plan. Got a lot of tools with this team. You're not going to out-heal the Dragonkin and the Beast Racial Basilisk. So, there you go. Look at that blob of Anomalous on the floor. Cool map. All right, well, 9-0. That one was a little bit trickier than maybe it should have been. Maybe I made it trickier. But let's do this last one. I'm getting really tired. I'm doing all of these in a row. So funny thing, I was just doing the voiceover and I was saying how tired I was. I ended up talking about something else over this like whole battle. So let me stick to the battle this time. Brute or Blossoming Ancient, Valk, and Blighthawk. Blighthawk used to be pretty good in the early days of pet battles back in MOP. But let's not talk about that now. Let's talk about this battle. Scalded Basilisk Hatchling, the Basilisk against the Valk. The Valk doesn't take any damage. So far there's not been much damage. Not sure why I feigned here. I made a couple of interesting choices during this battle. I think I was actually tired during this battle too. I did all these battles with this team in one day. Not one sitting, but I'm going to show the logs at the end. And I think it was getting late at the late for an old man, probably not late for you. It was like 7:30 and I was so tired. No, it's not that bad yet. I just feel like I didn't know what I was doing in this battle. I was kind of lost. Like what's up with that? I could have used Return to Rest if I wanted to bring the Moon Touched Netherwhelp in, but I swapped out to it. Yeah, just I feel like I made some weird choices. Maybe there was something going on with the health of the Basilisk that I wasn't sure about, but I just think it was probably a bad move. But the Valk's going down. DOT on it again in the back line. Or DOT on the back line, I should say. Yay for aquatic damage against that elemental. And I think we've seen enough why the DOT on the Moon-Touched Netherwhelp, it's been quite useful. It's been very useful, especially when you just want to throw it on a pet and then dodge. You're still going to do damage while it's while you're dodging. I'm sticking by my choice. Even though from a coverage point of view, it might that other move that's strong against flyers might be better, but it's shown its use in this game. So what's up with all the sunny day in the queue? It's not pleasant. Alrighty, well, I just stayed in with my dragon. See, I can dodge here. Don't even have to kill you. The DOT is going to kill you. There you go. I mean, my pets are... Well, I want to say they don't have a lot of health, but it just looks like that because of sunny day. I think this battle could have gone either way still. But they didn't think so. They were more frustrated with all the dodges and the blinds, which is kind of funny because I think a lot of Blossoming Ancient players go in thinking that they're going to frustrate you. A lot of Sunlight players, I don't know that. I don't know what's in their head, but maybe not. Well, anyway, that's my last battle. I went 10-0. Let's wrap this up here. All right, well, that went well. 10-0. You can see the logs here. I played all those battles in one day, but I spaced it out throughout the day. That last one was at 10:56. Like I said, it was late for me. Not super proud of all the high-powered heavy hitters that I've been playing with. Still kind of figuring out the meta, but I think I need to go back to coming up with some teams with some unused, maybe underrepresented pets. I mean, I did that with the Proto Avian fledgling, which felt pretty good, but other than and the Blood Brood Whelpling, you don't see a lot of those. Other than that, though, I've been playing with some pretty high powered teams, so hopefully I'm not losing too much street cred here. I will try to discover some new pets, but this team, I'm pretty happy with it. I think it can continue its high win rate. I don't think it'll I mean, stay undefeated forever, obviously, but it'll do pretty well. And I'm glad to be using the Basilisk again. Initially, when I was using the Basilisk, I was like, well, it's not that fast anymore. You can see on the logs I use it with the couple of undead there, the Haunter and then the Bone Dropper, the Marionette. So I still use it without a speed buff, but it's great with a speed buff. Same with the Netherwhelp. The Netherwhelp has always kind of made me uneasy, even though I've used it a lot. It's just one of those like, oh god, it's got to feel horrible. Kind of like when you're playing against Indigo and you're like, oh, I can't hit you at all. This sucks. It's not fun. But yeah, I'll try to come up with some more interesting teams. But I like the new format. Making this video was a lot easier than the last one I made. Now that I'm getting used to how to do all this, I like it. I like it more. This video is only going to be like 45 minutes long for 9 battles. If I just hit record and recorded myself talking while waiting for the queue, 9 battles is going to take a long time. So I like this. I like it. I plan on doing it more, but I'm going to Japan for most of the summer, so don't expect any videos from me soon. But when I get back, I certainly plan on continuing to pet battle. I'm having a good time doing it. Even though I am playing with a lot of bully pets these days. So if you made it this far, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Oh, one last thing. Let me know what you thought of the camera angles. Maybe hated it. I think it's kind of hard to play with sometimes, especially in that battle where they were on opposite sides. Like my team was on the right, and then it just kind of confused me. But as long as my team stays on the left, I don't know. It's not that bad, but maybe you think it's horrible. Just let me know what you think about it. All right. Thanks a lot. Have a great summer.